Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another day of Corsair Summer Tour 2013 action. It's our second to last day of the event. Were you throwing out gang signs on camera?
Oh, thumbs up for good.
Those are nerd gang signs.
Do you wanna?
Yeah. All right. On that note, guys, it's ICCup versus Mousesports. Winner of this best of three moves on to play Fnatic EU today. Winner of that match moves on to play Virtus Pro tomorrow. The two games today are best of threes. The one tomorrow is a best of five. That's your grand finals. $10,000 total in prizes available. And with that being said, Kawa, take us into the draft.
That's not smooth at all. That's like
I was like waiting for it, and then like the teamwork wasn't there. It's okay. We'll get there. We did arrive a bit late in the draft. Do apologize for that. So we'll quickly run through the bans as well as the picks here. ICCup banning out the Bat Rider, the OD, the Puck, the Lone Druid, and now picking up Leshrac, Dragon Knight, and Shadow Demon. ICCup has been running quite a few push strategies as of late. They use that to crush EG. Let's see what they do in this game. Wisp, Naga, Broodmother, and now Weaver all banned out by Mousesports, apparently fearing bugs a bit. And they'll pick up a Visage, a Lifestealer, and a Prophet. Lots of burst damage, strong lanes for them. Now ICCup backing off, going for the Darks here. So depending on this final pick, if ICCup want to push hard, fast, and quickly, they can.
It doesn't seem like ICCup wants a good push hard, fast, and quick, and Mousesport is very well equipped with defending. And Lifestealer is one of the best carries against a quick push trap because he's a hero that could get in there, get in the front line, and do a ton of damage and a ton of distraction. Mousesport is also very good at split pushing with, guess what? Koifa's playing Nature's Prophet once again. So I feel like Mousesports is, with their three heroes so far, is well equipped to defend it despite not picking up too much AoE. And if you see ICCup picking up that last like Lycanthrope or something like that, they'll pick a hero that is really good at defending against pushes. But Mousesports looking pretty good. ICCup, I wonder if they'll be doing a Dragon Knight mech or something like that. Seems like it's not really likely because Darkseer is generally the mech holder, but we've seen crazier things at Dota 2, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, they have been running that Dragon Knight mech. When they did that, they had, I believe it was a Lone Druid as the primary sort of damage dealer, the right clicker on the towers. Lone Druid banned out by ICCup this game.
They also have Broodmother one game.
Yeah, that's true. So, and they had Hal as well as Broodmother in one game. So we saw an army of spiderlings. I felt like I was watching like one of those really cool, space like hype videos. The ones that get you excited about the study of the cosmos, basically, where you see just like everything is illuminated, like all these spiderlings glowing gold. Well, we won't see the Broodmother this game. We won't see the Lone Druid. ICCup looking at a third core for them, probably Dragon Knight mid, Darkseer as one of their solos, and then we do need that third hero in the tri-lane. The Leshrac, the Shadow Demon +1. If they want, they could even dual roam. Shadow Demon, Leshrac, very strong dual roaming combo. So the options are open, but they most likely need that third farmer here.
Also for Mousesports, I think they should, because there's a strong dual roam, they should pick up a solo mid that could actually get away. Your Queen of Pain, your Puck. Puck's banned out right here, but Queen of Pain is probably the best hero because Shadow Demon and Leshrac is going to dual roam you. But even if they land their stun perfectly, they might not even be able to get a kill on you because, you could get away properly with the blink afterwards. But Queen of Pain being banned out, so ICCup, very smart to use that. No escape heroes for the solo mid for you, Mousesports.
Well, before the draft concludes, I quickly want to remind everyone, you should go to gc.corsair.com and enter for your chance to win a fully loaded gaming PC as well as some free Dota TV tickets. They're still giving them out. You can still go back, watch the replays, get some Elgato views on your courier if you have one. Doesn't come with an Elgato, but if you have one, you can. So once again, gc.corsair.com. Got to keep the sponsors happy, and hopefully they will be. Thank you all for joining us today. This is only our first best of 3 of 2, but the final set of bans now out. It's a Gyro ban for Mousesports. Pretty strong 5-man mid-game carry hero, and also very annoying against Visage familiars. So a decent ban by Mousesports, and now we'll see. ICCup, they got to tip their hand here. What's it going to be?
Now, Gyro's not only very strong in the mid-game, he's also very self-efficient, so that when Shadow Demon and Leshrac leaves the lane, he's going to be fine. Luna, very similar in that fact. She could last it quite nicely. She could zone people out with their beams. But what it adds to this Nylem is very, very strong mid-game push. Once you get like level 10 and a level or BKB on Luna,
Right.
the entire team just go. And it's actually very difficult for Lifesteal to defend against it. Lifesteal goes on Luna, Luna pops her BKB and hits you back, and suddenly it's Lifesteal on the run.
Or Luna just gets disrupted, even if there's not a BKB.
Sure, yeah.
It's hard for Mousesports to go on one hero in the mid game because there is disruption, there is surge, there'll probably be a quick mech from the Darkseer. If ICCup do this right, I'm actually very worried for Mousesports. I think they need to win the lanes here, or they need to have a really successful and well-executed split push. You do have the familiars, you've got a Prophet, you can go for some lifestealer bombs, but if you let ICCup kind of get the ball rolling, if they gain enough momentum and then they start 5-manning at you, you have a lot of single target burst for Mouse, but you can't really kill anyone unless you catch out the Shadow Demon or the Darkseer. So Mousesports, well, there you go. Now they've shored up their lineup against 5-man. They've gotten a mag. I would say not scratch everything that I said, but you can ratchet it back a few notches because now Mousesports have a much better way to deal with this kind of aggression.
They also have a Rubik who could steal some big spells here. Vacuum is a great steal. Disruption is an insane steal. And more importantly, if you steal the Eclipse, then suddenly things go quite ugly here for ICCup. So this is probably one of the most well-balanced draft for both sides. Any favorites here going into the game? I mean, this is standard laning, right? We're going to see Magnus on this mid lane for Mousesport. We're going to see the Triling bot safe lane. And then you're going to see Nature's Prophet. And ICCup is going to mirror that completely on the other side. Any favorites on picks?
I think with this mag pick, if he gets a pretty early Blink Dagger, Mousesports have a lineup where there's a lot of squishy heroes when they're moving around the map for ICCup, and you'll have a Prophet Lifestealer Bomb combo, you familiars to scout and help assist in ganks. I think in the mid game, ICCup, if they don't get the really fast mech, the quick level 7 on Luna, if they don't just do that like really smooth LGD International style of execution back from the G League Season 2, I'd give Mouse a slight edge here with the mag pick, but the mag is the fulcrum of their defense. If he gets shut down early, if they smoke gank mid effectively, which they definitely could look to do, if they're running a safe lane Luna against the Prophet should be fine, then I think Mousesports could be in trouble. So as long as mag does well, I'd say Mouse in good shape. Otherwise, look to ICCup to take advantage.
I personally like the Mousesport lineup a little bit more as well. I feel like Nature's Prophet is the X factor. You talk about Magnus. I think Nature's Prophet is a big one. If you can get a quick start, get a Shadow Blade up, and start split pushing. ICCup's not a team that's good against split pushing. They're a team that likes to drive down the mid lane and go for one big push. But if you are pushing their tier 2 and they're pushing your tier 2 up top with just a Nature's Prophet, suddenly we have to go back and defend. It complicates the matter for ICCup. And if Koifa plays well, that could be what he's going for. But it's a good time to introduce the teams.
And on that note, we've got Mousesports, the Germans, of course, with one Dane and Cinderin on the Radiant side. Winner of this match moves on, and they will play Fnatic EU immediately following this series today at 21 CEST. Koikfa on your off-lane Nature's Prophet. Solo mid will go to Fata, no surprises there, handling the mag. In the defensive challenge, it'll be Black, handling your Lifestealer, maybe trying to rush a Midas or something unusual like Boots, not starting with anything purchased except a single set of Tangos. And last but not least, we do have Cinderin playing that support Rubik. And then on the Dire side, you've got ICCup. You've got one of the more underrated teams in the Western scene. They've been on the rise as of late, and Resolution, their solo mid player, is a big reason why. Very impressive, sometimes snowball-style player. Playing a less of a snowball hero this game, though. On the Dragon Knight mid, we've got a jungle defensive jungle Darkseer, handled by Mag. Always want to fly, support Leshrac. We just sick as the Shadow Demon. And Jackal will be playing your safe lane Luna. Having a very hard time with these Prophet Treants. Very annoying off the bat.
All right, so a couple of very interesting things right from the get-go. Fada, if you look at skill build, Empower at level 1, really want to take control of the right-click wars. So that means if he wants to go Shockwave at 2 and 3, he will not have Spear at 4. And against the Shadow Demon Leshrac ganking combo, that could be somewhat dangerous. Secondly, up top here, look at this Observer being placed so early in the game. This Observer generally means that ICCup wants to do an early game push and see any type of support hero rotation coming in. So look towards Edict being taken up at level 2. And looks like these two heroes are going at it. Spliff is going to miss here, and Koifa really laying out the deeps here with the 55 base damage.
Yeah, you can't really trade with a Nature's Prophet who's got an early reign of protection as a support unless you're hitting your spells. Great jukes by Koikfa. Who needs items? Who needs move speed to make it happen? And the other thing we might see, Lumi, generally when you see a ward like this, is also a smoke gank, backstab the tower, and then go for the push. But there isn't a smoke picked up yet, so maybe ICCup will just try and kick down the front door on the way in. As for Black, let's see what he spent his gold on. Still not spending it yet. Probably will look to wait until he's got the full Midas recipe before buying anything. That's the faster way to do it. Get the recipe, and then the second you've got gold, you go to the secret shop. You've got your completed Midas. No need to wait for the courier. But he's hanging on to his gold for the time being. Nobody in the lane. And hey, if ICCup aren't going to contest you early, might as well get a little bit greedy on that safe lane makes.
Do you think he's going to have it? Ooh, looks like we have Skewer being taken at level 2, but Lestrak's already in position, resolution, threatening for the Sun, who does not have it just yet. It's only level 3. Do you think he has time to get the Midas, going back to black on the bot lane? This is a lineup that's going to push very quickly on the other side with Luna, Dragonite on the front line. Do you think he's forced to go something like phase, drums, armlet, and just be your tanking force up front?
I think because the Magnus is farming all right, there's 10-1 on Fatsa now. He's not dominating or anything, but he's getting the basic farm. He should have access to Shockwave. You'll have Fade Bolt. You'll get some levels on Synderen, who's jungling reasonably quickly. I think because they have decent counter push with the Mag pick, and you'll have a Prophet at some point around like that 10-minute mark who goes back into the jungle, tries to get level 6 as quickly as possible. They can give up a tier 1 top. I don't think that's too big of a concern for Mouse. Even a tier 2 top, it's not the side with Roshan. It's not really the end of the world, so I think they had just enough time to do it. But on that note, we'll see that smoke gank. You predicted it well, Lumi. We see the early Observer Ward. They want to go for this tier 1 top. In order to do it, they need to push the lane. That's why Jackal has his Rina Basilius turned on. Smooth execution here from ICCup. Good hiding from Koikfa, but I don't know if this will be enough. They should expect he's here. They walk all the way to the left. They know. I don't even think they saw them. Just good anticipation. Now, Koikfa's in trouble. He tries to TP out. Can they cancel that TP? Disruptions there by Weetasik. Look for the Lucid Beam follow-up. No way out for him. Not easily anyway. Great synchronization. A very well-executed gank. And no TP reaction either. That's how you do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. That's not how you do it.
Okay. Get out of there, guys, here. No more tanking. Oh, there you go. Koifa's going to TP right and always want to fly very, very low, but they didn't really get too much out of it. What we wanted to see here from ICCup is a kill into a very smooth tower tier 1 push. Unfortunately, because Koifa is so low level, he died and he TP right back. So you got to get yet another kill on him, and I just don't think Koifa is going to fall for that one. We talked about the Hannah Midas. It is going to be a Hannah Midas as Black has it in less than 4 minutes.
That is about the fastest that you can actually get a Midas.
Reasonably so.
As outside of being a Doom or...
Like, if you get a first blood and a double kill and, like, every creep in the lane, then you get a 2-minute, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't actually think Black's missed the CS. If he has, it's like 1 or 2. It looks pretty much perfect. So, if you get it this fast, the Midas pays off for itself very early. You'll still get your boots now, and you should have phased boots by, like, that 7-8 minute mark. So, I definitely think it's not too greedy. It will pay off this game, and ultimately, Lifestealer benefits
top lane
from the
here.
levels.
They're going to beam, and they're going to open up with Disruption. Splitter's going to hit as well. No, it will not. Cinder has already TP in. Tower focusing on Wijicek. He's going to be okay, or will he? The tower shot is going to bring him down. Always want to fly trapped behind the tower, and the tanking, the blocking is coming in from the Treants. Tower now focusing on Always Want to Fly. He's low. He barely makes it out. So a 1-for-1 trade with Cinder and TPing to get the EXP. Can't say for sure who's really ahead, but I think Mousesports is okay.
It's a 1-for-1. They force out a TP, and they kill the Nature's Prophet again for support. So I give the advantage, as far as that engagement goes, definitely to ICCup. But at the same time, very fast Lifestealer Midas. There is a Darkseer jungling completely freely. Mag's already level 6. Now we'll head to the offlane. So overall, I'd say very even trades across the board. I think the one X factor here might be that our Dragonite Resolution is pulling ahead significantly against the Magnus of Fata. At the level 3, he only had a level 1 Shockwave. That probably hurt him a bit in terms of CSing. Now it's level 3, still only a level 1 Skewer, unfortunately. That is the downside to taking that early point in power. But Resolution winning mid, the 3 cores of ICCup all farming well. I give them a very slight edge, but nothing too significant. It's much more about the mid-game execution for both teams.
Yeah, you can see that Synderen is posting up on the mid lane, looking for that kill. Dragonite, though.
They do have an Observer Ward here. Not sure how Synderen got there, but he probably was spotted.
He just took this path, so that's not going to be scouted out by this Observer Ward, so he should be fine. Meanwhile, looks like the smoke is going to happen once again, and there will not be support TP. Synderen.
How sad is Synderen about to be?
Synderen's about to be very sad.
Uh-oh. There's no way out for him now. Fata does have RP, but they start with the Disrupt. Look for the Split Earth. High ground to low ground. Perfect synchronization. Ooh, that nuke hits too as well, and Fata, RP wasted for nothing. Thought he could get Synderen out safely. Potts comes in with the Haste Rune. He does have access to a level 2 Soul Assumption. Not choosing to use it yet. I'm pretty sure he had an Always Want to Fly kill, but didn't have the vision uphill. It is nighttime and has to back off, so give another small victory to ICCup. Maybe not, though, if Resolution dies. There's a Disruption. It's not being used yet. Now the Disruption goes on the Magnus. And in the end, both teams retreat out. Well, ICCup just coming out slightly on top, forcing out an RP for not a whole lot. Koikfa is being left alone top lane, finally getting some levels, and actually getting quite a lot. These early pushes were not successful. Suddenly, he's level 5 as an off-lane Prophet against the tri-lane that smoke ganked him. Sure, Darkseer's doing well, but Darkseer was mostly in the jungle.
Well, he's also died twice, so no early Hanamitis, which is generally how Nature's Prophet recover from the early.
I'll just get a late one instead. No big deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to be delayed, and that's an issue. But Black's making up all the farm that he's missing on the bot lane. Now another 700 goal. It looks like they might be. No, they're not. It's really hard to kill Black. Infest gets back all his HP. He's also got max open wounds because you don't need rage against nobody in the lane. So he is going to be a decent initiation force as well.
To be honest, we didn't talk about it, Lumi, but if you look back at the draft, I feel Mag should have been in this lane. This is a very weak killing tri-lane at the early levels. Rubik, Visage, Lifestealer against Darkseer. As soon as he hits level 2, you just can't kill him. He'll always be able to surge away. There's not enough burst or lockdown, and he could have really slowed Black down. Sure, he got a little faster farm for himself out of the jungle, and that might make their 5-man a bit stronger, but I feel like this was a game where Mag really could have contested Black, delayed his Midas, or at least kept him at low HP, kept the supports from moving top or mid, and thus made their pressure on the top lane a little bit more successful.
It really depends on whether Synderen lifts them up after he surges, because generally that gets very ugly. So,
Koikfa, he's been spotted out here. He tries to TP away. No such luck. This poor Koikfa being bullied to the ends here sprouts himself in to a horrible prison and will end up going down. Fata, though, has RP. Nope. Mid-animation casting gets actually disrupted. Now the telekinesis stun. It won't end up mattering. The Split Earth was perfectly placed by Always Wanna Fly. This teamwork from We Just Zik support, ICCup supports, this is very impressive.
I don't remember when the last time we've seen such effective dual roaming Shadow Demon and Leshrac here. That just go all over the place. Synderen, by the way, gets sun up. Thrift's going to hit as well, and that should be yet another kill. These guys are just finding it. Okay, these two supports have been involved in every single kill of the team. 5 kills early on. Another D-Ward comes out here on the Ancients. They are just dominating this early to mid game.
Now that one, I think you got to put some blame on Cinder in there because he knew there was an Observer Ward there. That's why he was trying to D-Ward. They knew there was one there because the Nature's Prophet died to that backstep smoke gank. What he should have done is walked around and up the hill. That way he'll see if they're coming to gank him. Instead, he tries to get a little bit greedy and just deny it from low ground to high ground, puts himself in a bad position, puts himself in harm's way, and goes down. So I think if Cinder had just had safer positioning, took the high ground, and took a little bit longer to D-Ward, he lives there. But overall, yeah, it's mostly just been ICCup playing exceptionally well in these supports.
Yeah, their smoke gangs are just on target. They never miss a single one. Jacko, by the way, is going to have a Helm of Dominator. He's dominating a Satyr, looking to do some pulls. Let's see if Mousesports is going to have the recognition to plop a Sentry or Observer at the Ancients and prevent that from happening.
Yeah, this is great. And, the thing is, this Tier 1 bottom is up, so it's very easy to defend the Ancients and farm them safely.
Right, and that Tier 1 tower is at full HP because Lifestealer hasn't really been pushing it too much, so... Yeah, I think all things going quite well for ICCup. What is the recovery method for Mousesport? Nature's Prophet is having a very tough game. Black's big, but he's one of those heroes. He could get a couple kills and maybe a tower kill, but he doesn't seem like a dominating pushing force at the very least.
I think if you're Mouse, you just sit back and you try and get some good wards up so that you don't get caught by so many smoke ganks. Play defensively, farm your Blink Dagger on the Magnus. You still have a very strong late game composition. ICCup's is good as well, but I don't think Mouse are obviously outgunned there. Sure, they trail now by, 4,000 gold, 2,000 experience. It's a significant deficit, but I think all the keys to their success will just be a Mag, Blink Dagger, and some more levels on the Rubik and the Visage. Get your basic items up. Get your boots on Synderen. And I mentioned this yesterday. He's really struggled to find farm as a support in recent days, more so than almost anyone on the support role in the Western scene. But you get up those basic items, you have a very strong 5-man defensive lineup. I don't think Mouse is under the gun here. It's more they just have to stem the bleeding and play a little bit safer.
Yeah, big creep wave being found up here by Fada, up to 1,000 go after his Arcane Boot. So that Blink Dagger should be coming relatively soon. Resolution finds himself in Viscerin, rotating up top to set up a gank. And who is he going to find? He's going to find Koifa. Koifa is just... Man, I just want to see him ditch that 1,000 go for a Strength Treads or something because he's about to go down.
No, I actually think you have to get the Midas now to catch up.
Well
this ain't going to help. He gets stunned again. Oh, not like this. Poor Koikfa. He's been such a beast in the 3-roll as of late. I would say he's impressed me more than pretty much anyone outside of Funnick in the Western scene in the 3-roll over the past few weeks. But, well, another death here. It's just not been his game. And ICCup, constant aggression. I think it's less that Koikfa's playing horribly or feeding, and it's much more that ICCup, they had a game plan, we're going to shut down Koikfa hard and constantly, and they've been doing it.
And generally, I think that's a very good game plan against these Western team that features Funnick, Koikfa, Admiral Bulldog, that just go ham on that Nature's Prophet. You cannot allow this such mobile global hero to do whatever hell he wants early game, so Great shutdown, and now Black looking to do a little bit of pressure, but perhaps this is a bait here. Black not going to use any of his spells just yet, just harassing and denying right under the tower.
You know, we call it the 3 position. Oh, we might see an engagement mid. Fonto lurching forward. He's got 1,400 gold. Won't go for the RP. I think with a lot of these Western teams, the 3 position is in some ways a misnomer. For me, I feel like players like Bulldog and Koikfa, they end up being the carry players. Sure, they play in the off lane. They play a Nature's Prophet, who's not a hard carry by any means, or a Clinks or whatever the case is, but the way the game develops and the way the teams kind of prioritize farm, you give hero players like Black and Havos strong early to mid-game fighting heroes, Alchemist, Lifesteal, Gyro, and it ends up being the offlaners, the 3 position players who are sort of the carries for the team.
Yeah, they definitely transition very well into the one, Nature's Prophet being one of the best in doing so. Fada, 1,700 gold here, very, very close. Let's see if Mouse or ICCup's going to have a gank towards him. Probably not, and I think Magnus is... You know, earlier when you said Mag, the player, I was like, why is Mag going on the bot lane? I got confused.
All we need is S4 in this game. Then we've got the son of Magnus, Magnus' son,
right
in here as well. Unfortunate that we don't. So we're heading towards the mid game now. 6-1 kill lead for ICCup. They definitely are in a comfortable position. I think for them the big thing is getting the Shadow Blade on Dragon Knight, because that's really gonna, as well as a BKB on Luna. They already have their mech up on the Darkseer, and once you have those items, you've got your great initiation, you've got your frontline tank backed up by a mech and disruption, and ICCup can start forcing some towers. And so far, Mouse a strong turtling lineup, but just haven't really been able to get much accomplished. And I think ICCup with those next set of items can 5-man, and Mouse will be very hard-pressed to stop it.
Yeah, they really don't have enough physical DPS to really slow down this Luna. I mean, sure, it does a bunch, but also Luna has 16 armor at this point. You gotta keep in mind that Empower's not gonna be effective because Lifestealer most likely has to rage it off. So I really don't know what their answer is to that BKB Luna. The best thing that Mousesports could hope for is to bait out the BKB by throwing out a couple of nukes, force her to activate it early, run back off, wait for the BKB to be done, and then engage. But at that point, ICCup says, we're back off.
They finally have the Blink Dagger on Fata. They pick up an armlet on Black as well. Remember, you do have Infest, you've got a level 11 Lifestealer. That's the one benefit of that 4-minute Midas is, if you're left unchecked, you scale and you hit your mid-game and your late game like 5 minutes quicker than you normally would. So the question is, well, Fata hasn't bought his Blink yet. Courier's still going back to base, that's probably why. Does Mouse look to force a fight off of this? Do you go for a smoke gang? Do you go for an Infest bomb? Or do you let ICCup come to you and then fight that way?
You gotta let ICCup come for you. Fada, if he finds like a 2-man RP and double kill this early, you say, hey, that's a good, RP into a double. But that means ICCup says, they don't have RP for 150 seconds. We go take 2 of your towers.
Or we go Roche.
Yeah, or whatever they want to do, right? So I think you have to use that RP in a purely defensive measure, but...
They're gonna go for it. They smoked up... Oh, was this spotted? I think
Not
they
yet.
smoked like right here.
Not
Dire
yet.
Observer Ward on the high ground. Just barely out of vision. Pump faking the RP. There is a Sentry
They
Ward
see
mid
it.
though.
They see
oh,
it,
they
yeah.
saw it. Oh man, that hurts. Now completely wasted time for 3 important heroes on this team. The Mag, Fresh Blink Dagger has also been spotted out. Well, the element of surprise is totally gone, and it's something that you really do rely on when you're playing a hero like Magnus. You get that early blink. You want to make that first gank a success, and if it is, it won't be because of the element of surprise.
No, it would not be. Well, the Blink Dagger could give you some of that still, but yeah. But meanwhile, Black is farming away. He's got his phase on Armlet and still 1,500 gold. So I think Basher has got to be his next item choice because of Luna BKB. Also, Resolution back in the mid lane is going straight Shadow Blade. RP's going to use. Skewer's going to get dropped back on, and they're going to kill Resolution quite easily. Or will he? Disruption not going to be there. We're just like going to run, my friend. You got to run. And he's... Yeah, so Assumption does this. Okay.
Parting Soul Assumption says, screw you, Shadow Demon. How dare you try to save your teammate?
But here's the thing with Mousesports RP down, if you're ICCup, you wait for the DK to come alive, and you just storm down mid. I think that's a great opening for them.
And what a perfect timing it is for them. They've just gotten their BKB on the Luna. The mech's been online. Lashrak's got his urn and some levels, level 6 now. Mousesports, they do have a decent sort of clump here with the Visage Familiars helping out, but completely agree with you, Lumi. ICCup, they'll wait for this DK to respawn. He also just got a Shadow Blade. It was actually being delivered. Mid-delivery, he died. They'll group, and they'll either take the Tier 1 mid, or they'll work on Roche.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they're actually going to go for. It looks like with Mag being on the mid lane and a teleport to the mid lane as well, everybody is going straight to down mid lane. And we'll see how Mousesport will defend without their RP. And this is one very testing time with BKB still up. And look, here comes the Resolution. Ultimate being popped. Mech is going to get used quite early in the game.
There is a...
Oh, stunned up here on Fada, and Fada is just so dead. Yeah, no way he survives out of this one. Vacuum, someone used quite early, to be honest here, but...
Now the Shadow Blade. Resolution on the hunt. He spotted out Cinder, and Poison giving them vision. They've surged, and we just said, Purge is in. I don't think they'll even bother with the disruption. It is a telekinesis stun. Holding Resolution down for a second, but can't stop him. Meanwhile, though, Koikfa finally has his Midas, has had it for a few minutes, I do believe. He'll pressure the tier 1 top, but can't even take it. So a tier 1 mid and 2 kills for nada. And that's the power of Mag RP being on cooldown.
Yeah.
ICCup, great recognition. As soon as the RP's down, they respawn and they go immediately down the middle lane.
That was really good play by Koifa up top, though, because he know that he really can't do anything as a Nature's Prophet without item this stage of the game. So the best thing he could have done is push the tier 1 up top and force Luna to TP back. Because if Luna didn't TP back, not only was it a tier 1 and 2 kills, it would have been a tier 2 as well. So, you know, Koifa helping out the team despite not being really able to do so. 2-man smoke on the bot lane here for Mousesports, and they do have RP backup. And this is the next Infest bomb as well. Let's see if they're going to make a play here on the tier 1 tower.
No Infest yet from Black. He just wants to walk on into the fight, maybe saving Infest to make a quick getaway. A Sentry Ward deployed by ICCup. Oh, are they really ready for this? Mouse have done this once already, so they've tipped their hand a bit that they like these smoke ganks. They're relying on them to try and claw their way back in the game, but round 2, unlikely to be successful with the Sentry Ward now down in the lane. I do want to point out, Mouse, smart play from them as well in their supports. They did Sentry Ward block the Ancients, but it's kind of late, to be honest. Luna already farmed 1 stack, and this is the 2nd stack for Jackal. He'll clear it out now, and after he gets this, I believe he's got his Yasha coming. No, Blade of Alacrity, he'll have his Yasha. This is where Luna starts to get a bit scary.
Yeah.
You get your Manta style online, you can Manta out of open wounds. Mousesports really rely on an RP to kill off this Luna.
I think that Mousesports is still doing quite okay. I mean, they have most of their towers still up, 4 out of 6 outer towers. And of course, if you look at their items, they have double Hannah Midas on Nature's Prophet as well as Lifestealer. So if they win or have some successful mid-game defenses, they could take this late. The problem is, are they going to have these successful defense? It really comes down to the RP now. And where's that Magnus? He's in the mid lane with Teleport Scroll ready to go. And here comes a 4-5 man gank. They got to open up with the Purge. I think Disruption. Spirit's got to be absolutely perfect. It does. Oh, nice Rage TP.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen on a Lifestealer. That Rage does not take any time to come off.
But
so.
he TP all the way back home. So ICCup's going to have at least 10 seconds.
I guess ideally should have TP'd to the tier 1.
Tier 1, yeah.
At the same time, though, there's your Basher for your Lifestealer. He, by the way, is not too far off an Abyssal Blade. Now Mousesports lurking behind the tower. Could be caught out. They've got a Blink RP. Will they look to go? Always want to fly on the one side. Mag on the other. In comes Mag. He's found him. Blinking away is the Magnus. He'll just retreat out of the trees, but the real Mag, the Darkseer, will find the kill on Rubik. Meanwhile, on the front lines of the fight, Resolution, he's found Pos. Trying to slow him down with the Dragon's Breath, and now I think one more vacuum. He will go down. Cooling down in 10 seconds. They just need a stun here. There you go. Pasta fall as well. Magnus completely out of the fight, being zoned away by Always Want to Fly. Fata cannot get involved, and he might be in trouble as well. TP cooling down for him for 15 seconds. Blink Dagger's available. Where's he going to go, though? Run for the hills, Fata, because you ain't fighting here anymore. The tier 1 will fall. While this was happening, Koikfa finally got Mouse on the board. Their first tier 1 of the game by the Nature's Prophet, but it came at a very heavy cost.
Again, good split push from Koifa, forcing Jackal to go back. Because Jackal, by the way, hasn't used that BKB, hasn't used a clip even a single time in this game, but can't even find the opportunity to use it because their team is doing so well. And Koifa, again, forcing him back. But all of these kind of split-pushing tactics will only work for now because sooner or later, ICCup's going to accrue so much more gold and experience advantage that no amount of split push is going to get you back in the game.
Just such a passive game for Mousesports. Score now 2-10, and I guess they were somewhat forced into this when they went for a Prophet and then back off for Magnus mid. Sure, Magnus can go get things done mid, but only every so often, right? With RP having such a long cooldown. They've just been forced into such a defensive posture. If they lose one big fight, then they might suddenly lose Roche. But here they've gone in the middle lane. RP was there, but only one hero really getting stunned, and the mech comes off on the one who did. Mag, able to try and surge away. He won't escape, though. Always want to fly the one who does get away. Great defensive disruption. There's a smoke now. Black on the move. Black gets surged in. He's looking for a bash here. Always want to fly, gonna fall. Oh, Lifestealer. Now he's going hard. Surge forward, the Purge doing nothing. And we just completely on the run. They're getting picked off one by one. And on to the next they go. We just your Shadow Demon falls. Make it suddenly from 2-10, 5-10. Mousesports on their way back in this game. And you got to say, well, where was your Luna in that fight? No TP was up on Jackal. Just couldn't join it. They really needed him there.
Yeah, Jackal unfortunately TP back to the tier 2 up top to defend that one and farm a little bit in jungle as well. And meanwhile, again, BKB Luna would have just turned the tide of the battle there. That did not happen. 3 kills being, or was it 3? Mad kill, a Shadow Demon kill.
It was 3.
Yeah. 3 kills, a tier 1 tower mid, and a tier 1 tower bot. Suddenly, Mousesports right back in the game. You gotta keep in mind that there's a 4-minute Hannah Midas and about 12-minute Hannah Midas on Nature's Prophet, so they definitely got the mid game.
And I mean, everyone talks a lot about how good of a farmer Black is and how he's one of the best carry players in Europe. That's nothing new, but this is ridiculous farm. 160 CS, 8 CS a minute, that's pretty good. But with the Midas and with his kill participation, 1-0 and 2, he's going to have an Abyssal Blade, Phase, as well as Armlet, and a Magic Stick on top of it at like 24, 25 minutes into the game. That's filthy. I mean, at that point in the game, if you're ICCup, you need your disruptions to be perfect. You need great defensive surges. If Black jumps on the right hero, say the DK or the Luna, and just abyssals her and goes to town, Jackal may die without even getting off his BKB, or even with his BKB on. It might not matter.
This is a really good game to just download the replay, get the tournament ticket, download the replay, and look at how Black's been farming. Not only is he farming in the lane, he's also been stacking and pulling for himself, and later on using things like Infest to clear out multiple camps at the same time. How to get that 800 plus GPM featuring Black. So doing great so far, but let's see if it's going to be enough to bring his team back, because they are still down by 5 kills. They're still down by about 250 or 2,500 gold. Abyssal Blade is forthcoming, and how awkward is it to have your first BKB activation to be Abyssal Bash through? But it could happen.
Good news is the BKB will last a long time. The bad news is you probably die just from the Abyssal no matter how much duration your BKB has. Good news is, though, now they've got a Roshan. Aegis will go to Jackal, uncontested by Mouse. Hard for Mouse to get in the pit, even with RP, simply because ICCup have such a strong death ball. We saw them lose that fight mid, but that was not a team fight. That was heroes getting picked off one by one. I still think ICCup, as long as they can minimize the RP damage, only say maybe 2 heroes get RP'd, one of them gets disrupted, I still give them the edge in a team fight. But if a big RP comes through, or if they get picked off one by one, they will lose any sort of engagement where that's scrappy and chaotic. Because in those, nobody is going to do more damage than Black.
Yeah, and also this game has been really slowing down to a crawl now, and that really favors Koifa, allowing him to catch up a little bit here with the Hand of Midas as well as Wrath of Nature, allow him to continue to apply pressure in multiple lanes, making sure that ICCup's always going to have a tough time pushing back out. So I'm not liking this game now as it goes later and later for ICCup. They got to have a decisive victory. Vada and Resolution both invis, and looks like they're teleporting up top here, but I do Blink Dagger coming out forward from Mag. Synderin, I think he's going to be done here. He's trying to search himself out, but the stun's going to come here from Resolution.
Man, that new ranged Dragon Tail, I still can't get over how freaking good it is. Spammable Beastmaster Roar that doesn't go through BKB. That's how good it is. Absolutely ridiculous. You don't get the slow, but aside from that, it's pretty much the same thing. And now, we'll have a quick pause.
It's a 9-second cooldown Beastmaster Roar. So.
Yeah, that's the thing, is It's a really low cooldown version. It doesn't go through BKB. It doesn't slow other heroes in the path, but my goodness, the range on that was absurd. That was one of those stuns where he's running out of range, but the stun's already starting to go off, so you still get him. Right at the buzzer.
I'm crying for a range nerf after TI3 for DK, because maybe you should scale with your dragon form. Like level 1 dragon is like 400 range.
Yeah.
Level 2 dragon is 500 range. Level 3 dragon 600 range. Because this thing is just too much. It's too much.
I don't know. I like Dragon Knight. I think he's a fun hero.
He's a great hero. But
you know, a year and a half ago, or not a year and a half ago, like a good 9 months ago, I made a Pinoy guide to Dragon
Knight,
or
yeah.
Dragon Knight Pinoy style back when I was doing some YouTube guides.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone's doing it now. The Shadowblade Dragon Knight.
Dude, it's so
Nobody was doing that in the competitive scene like 9 months ago. The Pinoys were all doing it constantly.
Yeah.
I saw them do it in Dota 1. I started doing it in Dota 2, and now everybody does it. And this was before Shadowblade got buffed. They still did it then.
I used to do the Dragon Knight Pinoy build in pub games, right? The Bottle Crow and the straight Shadowblade. And people,
so good.
People in pubs like, what the fuck are you doing? Because like, they never seen Shadowblade on Dragon Knight. It's just amazingly powerful. And now, even with the Shadowblade still somewhat nerfed, it's still amazing on this hero. If you could skip the BKB, and he did this game, but he's going to go back for it.
Yeah, and speaking of that BKB, it's on the courier now. So they now have double BKB, and I think the key thing for ICCup here is ideally you just want your Dragon Knight to get someone to start the fight. If you can just catch out anybody, be it, ideally you get the Magnus, maybe the Prophet, the Visage, the Rubik, any of the supports, I think the fights go way better for ICCup, and they have Surge into Dragon Tail with a BKB on Resolution. So a lot of ways to get him into these fights, but on that note, somehow a Wild Jackal has gotten caught out middle lane. Looks like he got blink skewered right before the pause. Now pops his BKB, but the Abyssal's there. He's still alive. The back backwards, keeping him alive, keeping him in fighting shape. Now the back going the other way from Mag, and it looks like Jackal comes in with his Eclipse. Can he find anyone, though? He hit a few beams. It's not enough. Mousesports able to retreat out, so that's a BKB and Eclipse down. And ICCup, a wall as well. Still looking to fight Synderin. Picking off Ouijastic on the backside, paying with his own life. Now Paz as well. The Dragon Reborn, reigning supreme here. ICCup coming out slightly on top, 2-1, and RP's on cooldown. And Jackal lives. Jackal does live. Great defensive movement by Mag.
Yeah, he had to pop the BKB instantly, but like you predicted, it doesn't matter if you pop the BKB. He will just shred you apart. Good rotation here from the ICCup.
Yeah, without
players.
his teammates, Jackal was dead.
Yeah.
But that vacuum, the Mag completely saved him.
And again, but a teamfight won right in front of the enemy tier 2 for ICCup. They can't actually push it because Koifa, just as annoying as he constantly is, doing it on a hero that doesn't do anything right now, but he's suddenly starting to get item. Look at him. Ultimate Orb up. He's not too far off from a Hex with a Midas fueling him. And I think sooner or later, ICCup, if they don't find the tier 2s, if they don't find those Raxes, they don't win this game. They will get out split push.
Thing is, when you're up against split push, your team tends to spread to deal with the split push. And when that happens, and they have a Prophet and a Lifestealer with an Abyssal Blade,
Yep.
so easy for them to find pickoff, so easy to punish the fact that you're forced to split. So ICCup, strategically in a bad position right now. Even though Gold Graph's still leading for them, 2,500 gold advantage, even though experience-wise they have a slight edge, strategically, Mouse have a lineup that can spread ICCup apart and then punch them in the gut where they're weakest.
That's gotta hurt to get punched in the gut. Have you ever got punched in the gut?
Yeah.
How painful was it?
It's pretty painful.
Okay. Well.
If they do it right, it hurts. gotta flex those abs in time. But if especially if someone sucker punches you, that's no good.
Well, I'm not sure if ICCup's getting sucker punched or not, but
yeah, this is not really well. Mouse went for a few smokes, so a little shady from them. But
Mouse is also not avoiding the fight, right? It's freaking split push all day. ICCup Mag. I like the Blink Dagger usage. What I want to see out of ICCup is multiple Force Apps or Ghost Scepters, because when they go on you with the Abyssal, you gotta force your allies away, or hopefully you could pop your Ghost in before, because the damage output is way too much. RP is really gonna make things a little bit sketchy as well. Now I have two ways to go through BKB. But now Mousesports smoked up, looking for some kills.
On the hunt. They're in the dire jungle now. ICCup retreating out. Always want to fly, narrowly dodging the gank. Ooh. And in comes Koikfa, deep into enemy territory. He might get caught out here. Splitter's going to connect, but an RP clips 3. There's your cleave damage. Black is just chopping them down like bowling pins. Potts on the run. BKB's in from Jackal, trying to duke it out with Black. He gets off a timely Lucent Beam. The 2 carries of ICCup. Fantastic focus fire. They'll bring down Black. It's a 3 for 3. It could be more hitting the deck, barely TPing away as the spaceship blows up around them. Mousesports, they do beam themselves back home. 2 heroes living, but they lost all their cores there. And you gotta say, as great as that RP was, they were in a horrible position. That TP from the Nature's Prophet, Mousesports really got forced into an ugly fight.
I'm not even sure where that was a great RP. I mean, they got 3. They got the Magnus, or the Mag, excuse me, on the Darkseer. But critically, they didn't get the BKB Luna, who just shredded the entire team. They didn't get the BKB Resolution, which
almost has a butterfly now.
Right, so it just 3-man RP, perhaps even better if you just 1-man RP one of the carries and just blow them out. Because I don't think ICCup could win a teamfight without either Luna or BKB. They need or Dragon Knight. They need both.
And they're going to need an MKB soon. Ginkgo into the mid lanes as a Blink Skewer. Now Resolution BKBs. A TP's out. He knows that RP's cooling down and he'll get away.
Jackal, though, sprouted up here by Koifa, and they are going to get 1 kill. He does not have the BKB. He will have it in 1 second. BKB TP? Come on. No, he won't TP because the physical damage is way too much, but they will just follow with Blink Skewer or Shockwave or anything.
Got a disruption coming in. I think he'll be okay. Koikfa on the hunt. We just sick. Purging one, or rather disrupting one, might pay with his own life, but totally worth it to save that Luna in the end. Great defensive rotation from the supports, and thank God for ICCup's sake that RP was down, because Mouse had blood in their eyes.
Again, though, a team fight that was won here by ICCup cannot even get a tier 2 off of it, so are they okay? Question mark. I'm not sure.
And, I mean, overall, I think because ICCup are getting some really core items now, Jackal is about to get the Butterfly. There's no MKB in sight on Black. The deaths in these fights and have slowed him down a lot. I think once the Butterfly comes up for Jackal, I don't know if Mouse can take a team fight unless they hit a huge RP. Before, I felt like they could just by finding easy pickoffs with the Prophet, with the Lifestealer. Now I'm not so sure with a Butterfly coming on Jackal. And if he gets the next item, the Satanic, that is a point in the game where Luna is almost scarier than Lifestealer.
Yeah. You got to get the Scythe Visor counter. It does remove the evasion on the Luna, so it's okay if Koifa gets the Scythe onto him and then allow your Black to do all the DPS. I still think that Mousesport has it if they have the Scythe Vice, but it's getting tougher and tougher, as you said, because now everything has to be on point. You have to hit that RP, you have to hex him, and that's too many ifs.
By the way, something I did want to point out was Fata had a Shadow Amulet. Now he's got a Shadow Blade. ICCup do have a few Sentry Wards. There's already a Shadow Blade Prophet. I guess it's all right for split pushing, but this could be working towards a BKB. This could be working towards a refresher. Very gimmicky item pickup, I feel, from this Magnus.
Any idea why he needs it? Because Blink Dagger generally is good enough to kind of get him in. Or maybe does he feel like he has to surprise them, right? You cannot allow them to BKB beforehand. Looks like TP up top.
The problem, though, is Koikfa's got a Shadow Blade already, so Mouse should be... ICCup should be well prepared for this. And you see, they've got quite a few Sentry Wards up on the map already. There's one near the hill here. There's quite a few in the river. And they're still carrying some on their supports. And eventually, if the game goes late enough, teams normally get a gem regardless of if you have Invis heroes.
Speaking of that,
and on that note, gem just pick up I Always Want to Fly. This is 3,000 gold towards an item that will not help you if ICCup is prepared. It will not help you at all there. Magnus will not be right-clicking in these fights without a BKB unless he gets the jump. I don't know, Lumi. This item could actually hurt them a lot. I mean, there is some potential for pickoffs, and it does help him split push, but ultimately, that's your Prophet's job. That's your Lifestealer's job. The big job for the Magnus is to lock the enemy carries down during the fight, and Shadow Blade against the gem probably won't help you do that.
Yeah, perhaps the mindset for that is, hey, guys, we already have Black as our true one carry. We already have Koifa to be the follow-up carry. We really don't need the Magnus to be the carry, their carry. We need him to be the utility role, to be a split pusher. His job is to land the RP. So maybe that's their mindset, but
yeah, but how does this help you land RP?
Right, I think BKB is still better. Looks like we're going to be a big smoke wrap around here. They see Koifa, or do they? They got to stun him up, and they do stun him up. The RP's perfect. Got to hit it. Where's the RP?
Even if he jumps in there, though,
there's no follow-up.
You've already lost your Prophet. Their team can't go up the cliff. I actually think very smart that he didn't jump in.
He could have skewered them back on the low ground.
Maybe there's a couple BKBs, though. If they get them off in time, then he's just skewering down supports. And then you kill a few supports with the RP. You have nothing to do with Jackal or Resolution. I think it was just kind of a low percentage play. And they didn't have a Prophet buyback. That was the other big issue. So, in the end, as much as it looked like a good RP, I think wisely Fato doesn't go for it.
Well, ICCup says, all right, we're going to go straight into your tier 2. They will have the RP to defend it, the tier 3, and they will need it. Down to 25 seconds. Meanwhile, Black.
Wow, nice deny by Paz.
Wow.
Great support play from him. But here comes the death ball. ICCup, I think they could force this. They're going to back off.
Well, they're going to lose the tier 2. Are they going to force a glyph? Are they going to get a kill, though? Fada's just hanging out still.
This gem's on the Dragonite. If they manage to pick him off, that would be big time. But
Black's nowhere
Black
near.
says, get out of there, buddy. We ain't fighting that. Tower will be denied. Fato just slowing things down. And I guess ICCup, they'll wait for the next Roche, and then they'll look to push.
Yeah, ICCup is losing all of these towers. By the way, they are actually down behind towers to the split pushing team of Mousesports, despite winning about every single team fight so far here. So, up by 7 kills. Up by how much gold are we looking at here?
I'm still super worried for Fata. There are so many ways to stop him from getting in and jumping RP. Lucent Beam can stop your Blink Dagger easily. Darkseer can vacuum you back as you're jumping in. You can get Dragon Tail. That's the biggest one. There's always the Purge, the Disruption. I mean, there's a lot of ways to just prevent Fata from getting into these fights effectively. I think, obviously, Purge is the one thing where a BKB won't help you too much there, but I am very worried for Fata if he can get involved. We'll have to see. It really comes down to Fata. He has to bait his team out. They really need like Black to go in first, or even the Prophet, and force ICCup into a bad position and then fight. I see it, Fata jumping in as a very low percentage play, unless ICCup are just way out of position.
I agree. I think the RP using it as to counter-initiate against Dragonite and Luna, and if you ideally get both of them, that's probably the best play. Perhaps the best way to start a team fight is to have Nature's Prophet die, bait out his own buyback, and just go back in. But for now, the rest of the team is going to find some engagement in the enemy jungle. MKB already picked up here on the Lifestealer, so Hex
Big
or not,
item pickup.
Yeah, Hex or not, they're going to have ways to pierce through that evasion from Luna.
It's always an arms race with carries. And this time the arms race, for a while it was the Luna leading with no MKB on Black, but now you have to say Black is the one who looks a little bit scarier. Of course, it's never a 1v1 in these matchups, and the X factor will always be we just Zik. Does he get off a good disruption? If he does, if Luna's able to hold her BKB, if RP is wasted, if the Abyssal Blade duration is dodged, then the Lifestealer's Rage runs out, the fight can easily turn the other direction. So it'll all come down to execution for these teams, as it usually does. It's all about Roshan now. Mousesports, the split pushing Magnus, Shadow Blade up, using it to keep the lanes heading towards the top, heading towards the dire side. The mid lane pushing in the bottom lane at the river as well. ICCup having a hard time finagling their way into this Roshan pit.
ICCup is about to pick up a huge item pickup here.
They're about to pick up Black, though. He gets Dragon Tailed. He gets Chain Stun. Black's going to go down. No way to disrupt him. No way to keep him safe. That is the one hero that you just cannot afford to lose right now. No buyback on Black. Mouse have to keep
They
up.
have a Scythe.
Oh, now there's a blink. Scythe on Koikfa as well. Mag's jumped in, and I think Koikfa's going down here too. He tries to TP out, but the gem spots him. That's 2 cores down. The split pushes over. Magnus is not going to threaten the tower by himself, and ICCup, it's straight into the Roshan pit for them. No buyback on the Lifestealer. Even if your Prophet buys back, hard to see how Mouse contests this Roche.
Will ICCup go into Roche, or do you think they'll go tier 2?
I don't think you go bottom for a tier 2. If that's a tier 2 mid,
tier
maybe.
Tier 3, sorry.
No, I think tier 3 is too long. It's 40 seconds. There's still a glyph up. It'll be Roche for them. And okay. I think this really is the right call.
This is definitely the safest and the most free choice here. So they will pick him up. These birds trying their best to give away some gold to Luna. Jackal says thanks. And now there's an Aegis on Luna, who, by the way, also has 3,600 gold. This is looking worse and worse. Black generally never make those mistakes of getting picked off in the mid game like that. But one critical one really caused a team to be completely a meltdown.
It's amazing how much one late game mistake matters. And it's not just because Black dies and they give away an Aegis. It's also because when you win a fight like that, suddenly Jackal goes from having 1k gold to 4k gold. And that means it's satanic for him. And as well as the AC. Wow, actually we see Mag getting picked up in the jungle.
Wow, look at these.
Sorry I missed that one, guys. But a nice rotation for Mouse to get the kill. Familiar's working in tandem with Magnus as well as Rubik. They did blow another RP for that, though. And honestly, if you're ICCup, if your Darkseer's buyback, you just go 5-man down mid. But fortunately for Mouse, there is no buyback. But yeah, Luna all of a sudden. Satanic and AC. If Jackal was easier to kill with that MKB up, that window is closed. Now he's got extra armor, he's got the lifesteal, and he's got Aegis. Almost, you can't really go on Jackal anymore.
You can't go on him anymore. Your best plan is to RP him, try to kill everybody else, which is hard because Dragonite is tanky as hell. Shadow Demon is going to disrupt whoever you focus the most. So I think Mousesports, the window has not just closed, but slammed shut on their fingers. And I
think they let it slam shut, though. I mean, Black getting picked off there. ICCup, sure, great rotations from them, but Black shouldn't have been caught out like that.
Yeah,
that just can't happen at this
Black's
point in the game.
gonna have to me, he was gonna get picked off eventually because Mag, when you get Blink Dagger on Scythe of Ice, a la Queen of Pain style, like somebody's gonna get picked off, whether it's Black or not. And well, I think the Scythe of Ice picked up is what steals the deal. Although Darkseer and the rest of the team has to still execute it, and Mousesports to me is a team that has better execution. Let's see if their experience as well as their global mobility could get them back in the game.
If you're just joining us, it's game 1 of a best of 3, and we'll hold that thought because we might have some more action soon. ICCup leading in terms of gold, leading in terms of kills. 9-11 the score. They've still got their gem on resolution. And it's actually Mouse trying to force some TP reactions, trying to back ICCup off. Doesn't look like they actually want to fight. Looks like they just want to slow down the aggression, but here comes your Eclipse. Jackal's jumping in. Eclipse has been stolen by Cinderin. Will they go in on this? There's a double familiar stun on Jackal. Now Cinderin looks to retreat out, but a blink for Meg. A back on 2. Into death, into pain. See a Eclipse that's 2 down. And now if you're Mouse, you are forfeiting your mid-racks. All you can do is split push here.
And I don't know if they're going to get even into the Raxus yet, because ICCup is coming fast and strong. Let's not forget about Luna giving everybody else insane amount of plus damage. And if this tower goes down, this tier 2 tower goes down, the Glaives are going to just go happy mode on all of these Raxus and the buildings nearby. So this tier 3 tower is the only last line of defense. Meanwhile, the push is coming quite quick and strong here from Mousesports. And it's going to be a full-on base race. Let me tell you, though, you don't win a base race.
No glyph from ICCup. They let the tower drop. Now the Rax in jeopardy. Still no glyph. Still no reaction. They're giving up the Rax, so they just base racing for the throne. They're finally going to take down their first lane of Rax of their own. You got to wonder if they should have glyphed there. It's only 1 for 1. They can't go for 2 lanes of Rax because the tier 2s are up. So it's a throne race. It's a throne race from ICCup. They did it to EG. They're trying to do it now to Mousesports as well. The throne dropping fast. The glaives bouncing through. Splash. Boom. Clap. It's all dropping in a hurry. And Mousesports getting caught with their pants down here. They've got to defend this Rax. It's almost too late. Is it, though? Jackal pops the BKB, getting focused by the Lifestealer. Satanic lifestealing through it all. He's alive. Koikfa will fall. There's still an Aegis on this Luna, coming back in fighting shape soon. But is she coming back alone? Throne sitting at about 3,000 HP. Can Luna do it? Jumps in. Lifestealer buys back immediately, but is it too late? There's no glyph for Mouse. It all comes down to this. Warcraft 3 surround on Luna. Focus their throne. Bring it down, ICCup. They can't do it yet. They're not going to. Resolution's dead. Drops the gem as well. Throne at the 1,000 HP. Wow.
Why do we hear you echoing?
Yeah, why do I hear myself? Okay. Well, that was a fight.
That was a fight. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a Rax for a Rax trade, but there's 2 tier 4 towers on top of ICCup. Buyback being forced out on Lifestealer. It might look like the okay defense, but Mousesports is just barely hanging on. Whatever ICCup wants to do, if they want to push the top or bot lane, or if they want to drive down mid one more time, they definitely can do it. Look at the gold pickup here. Always Want to Fly has 3,000 casual gold. That could be a gold scepter, 4-staff, whatever he wants to pick up. The Shadow Demon already has a gold scepter. Luna is spawning back with 5,000 gold. Dragon Knight spawning back with 3,000 gold. They are going to just out-item. Just...
Man, ICCup just has this kill switch. Like, if you piss them off or if they think they can just win the game right now, they are the one team more than anyone who says, we're not going to try and take 2 lanes of Rex. We won't go for a tier 2. We will not play safe. Not that that was particularly dangerous. We will go for the jugular. We will try and slice your throat open and let you bleed out on the floor. They thought they could win it, and they said, we're going for it.
They were close, too.
They were very close. A little bit short, but they forced out quite a few buybacks from Mousesports, and still, I think ICCup in a decent position
They
here.
still have Glyph, and that Glyph that was never used is going to come in handy here as they wait Luna for about... that critically 4 or 5 seconds. Oh, there you go. You got to use that Glyph for now.
Now they use it. I thought they forgot about it, but they just save it for this fight. Probably the more important one as well. Cinder jumps in, looks for your initiation, and Always Want to Fly. Meanwhile, though, it's a back on a few. The RP's there. It catches 3. It catches everyone except for Jackal, who now comes in and tries to turn this fight around. Dropping the Eclipse, going to work and going to town. Koikva's on the run. Pass as well. Always Want to Fly. Your carry Shrek charging in. Where's Black? He's in trouble. He's infested inside a creep, but very low. Not healthy at all. If this one creep dies, he's so screwed.
Oh, you can
it's
kill Mag.
chasing Cinder in.
Kill
Mag's
Mag.
gonna draw the aggro. They know the creep that he's in as well. Black is
The
gonna go
neutral!
down.
The hero neutral! Gotta focus the creep!
Hit the creep. Hit the creep. Black's so screwed. Black is in trouble. Black's trying to TP out. He armlet toggles. He does go down. I don't know how ICCup had that good awareness to see him infesting to that creep in that moment, but somehow, doggone it, they did. And now, do you just go for the throne again?
You do go for the throne again, because Black is dead for about 80 seconds. There's no way he's coming back. I thought Always Want to Fly got that Heartstone, Bloodstone, just for the healing for his ally, but it says, screw my allies, I'm the one rogue carry. I'll run in with my Post Nova and do all the damage possible. Koifa, by the way, on the out frontier.
Looking for another pickoff here.
I don't think he can. He's got 1,600 gold, HP, 1,700, and 7 armor.
If he dies, the game's over. He's their only hope. It's him base racing, and now he's going on the racks. The tier 4 is exposed. There is no glyph for ICCup. We'll look at the mid lane, though. Jackal says, let's do it, baby. There's your Blink. Your Skewer as well, driving him away from the throne. There's no RP, though. The creep's running ring around the Rosie here. Now Jackal focusing heroes. They do force the Prophet back. The Mag's dead. The Prophet on the sidelines for the time being as well. Goikva, back up, cannot get involved in this engagement. They bring down the Visage. The Bird is dead. The Throne's next. ICCup are going to take game 1, a throne race. Do not throne race this team. They always seem to come out on top. They did it to EG, and they did it again to Mousesports here today. GG.
There's 3 heroes you cannot base race against. It is Luna on the Radiant base, it is Lycanthrope, and it's Lone Druid, because they will out base race any other hero. It is absolutely insane.
There's actually 4.
Well, what's the last one?
ICCup.
Okay.
ICCup is the 4th hero. You do not base race this team. They always win.
They always win base race.
At least so far. They now lead this best of 3, 1-0. I gotta say, Mousesports, I didn't feel like they played poorly. There were a few times where they picked off. It was not their A game, but I'd say it was like their B game, their B+ game. They played pretty well. ICCup just played spectacularly. There was a few key mistakes from Mouse. Black getting picked off. Cinder in those early deaths when he's trying to D-ward. Fata, a couple too many, I think, single hero RPs. I didn't like the Shadowblade choice that much, but all in all, you gotta say 90% of this win was just ICCup. Great decision-making, amazing rotations from their support, and better late-game execution.
It was Shadow Demon Leshrac. Because it got like 4 kills on Koifa, he wasn't a factor till much later. And even then, you saw how much split pushing he was doing, how much delay he was able to do. So, despite the good victory for ICCup, they gotta say, we cannot allow Koifa to do anything in this best of 3 series. There's 2 more games that Mousesports could still come back and win the entire series. So, if Shadow Demon and Leshrac, the players, play as well as they did this game, I think ICCup could even take the entire series, and I think that's going to shock a lot of people because Mousesports
completely possible. They are a legit team.
Right,
ICCup is not they're not a one-trick pony. They've got a lot of strategies. They're not afraid to make big decisions in the moment. Guys, that wraps up game 1. ICCup now leading the set 1-0. It's a best of 3. Loser goes home and will finish 4th place. Winner is guaranteed top 3 and moves on to play Fnatic later today. Virtus Pro waiting in your grand finals tomorrow. With all that being said, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back. I'm LD, he's Lumi. We'll be live with game 2 after this.
Bye.